Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Steve, and if you don't know already, this is my mom, Sherri.
Hi.
And we are going to be talking about the time that I took my mom to the Pleasure Chest, which is a sex shop in West Hollywood.
That?
Well, yeah, is that okay?
Yeah,
I wasn't
okay.
sure. Let's just go.
We're in too deep now.
Okay, and we're going to be talking about how I took her to a sex class. It was a blowjob class. So I kind of want to tell you guys a little bit about what actually happened. And
Because I've been divorced for about 6 years and I felt like I needed to brush up on my skills. So I was asking my son, where can I learn how to give a contemporary style? How can I be a good date is what I ask him. And
exactly, because things are a little bit different now than when you were dating, like back from when you first met Dad. So things were a little bit different back then. You weren't swiping right, swiping left. You weren't tapping, poking. You weren't doing any of those.
There was some
things.
poking.
There was poking,
but not tapping.
Yeah, tapping's totally something.
I don't even know.
And it's a different generation, so that's what I mean. I have to get my mom up to speed with this sort of stuff. Like, my mom's from the South, she's old school, she doesn't necessarily know what a lot of these cool young guys are doing, because we think it's probably best to get you with someone who's a little bit younger and someone who can kind of give you a little bit of spunk, you know? Like, not that sort of spunk, but you know what I mean? Like, someone who can bring you a little...
Yeah, somebody who's not on the Viagra. Because I don't want to kill him. I could kill you.
If you're not on Viagra, we will swipe right for you. Because I've been helping Mom on Tinder to try to help her get with someone who's, you know, Mom sometimes has a tendency to go after guys who are a little bit...
I'm in shape.
How should I say?
So I could kill somebody if he was older, right? So I need to skew younger.
Mm-hmm.
Guys who have stamina and strong bones and muscles and not the arthritis.
To help you by taking her to the Pleasure Chest. Now, the Pleasure Chest is in West Hollywood. They have a lot of different sex education sort of classes. So they do classes on all sorts of topics. I've been to one before, so I kind of knew what to expect. I know it's my mom, like, I knew it'd be a little bit awkward, but I knew that she wouldn't go by herself, so I had to kind of like bring you with me. So Mom and I actually took a drive over to West Hollywood for their blowjob class. Now, they have other classes as well. They have like an anal class, they have bondage classes, they have vaginal sex, black sex, no, black sex.
Oh my God.
I just had something I couldn't actually put in this video, guys. I'm sorry. I'm sorry my mom had to hear something I just said. I won't reveal it.
I don't discriminate. If you got a job, if you got a pulse, if you're nicely built, it's okay. You can be any color you want to be.
You can be anything. Well, they have a class about it. What do you want me to say? So anyway, so they have...
How is black sex different from white sex? I need to know, why is there a black sex class? What's different? We all have the same organs. Am I right? Evidently, separate is not equal. If the black people have their own sex class, that doesn't seem right. I want in on that. I mean, that could be some R&B magic. You know what I'm saying?
Like, you have to know what kind of music.
Reverend Al Green. I can do that. I can do that.
Mom, I don't want to think of you getting on to some R&B like...
Your face is red. There's more to this black sex than I think meets the eye.
You made me laugh.
But I've learned a lot just in this few minutes. And I hope you have. You'll probably learn more than you want to learn. I did not know there was a separate sex class for black people.
Because you have to prepare a certain way, like if you're going to be having sex with... You know what they say, they're a little bit more well endowed. You're going to be getting it on with someone who's going to be... Okay, let's put it this way. French fry versus two sausages stuck together. I mean, that's like the difference, but in a different order of magnitude. So we're thinking like from 2 inches to 12 inches. It's going to be a lot different.
Are the sausages greasy?
The sausages aren't your vegan tofurkey, Mom, that you normally eat. Your little tofurkey sausage. We're talking about a type of sausage that...
Like a kielbasa type situation?
Oh, you best believe.
You're sweating again.
Oh, I'm sweating. Ooh.
Oh,
I've had an experience. That's for another story time, guys.
Well, how do you prepare for that? I mean, is surgery needed? What?
You're not going to need surgery, but there's some different toys that you can start with that would get you prepared for this sort of experience. Like, you know, like they have like those little like Kegel sort of ball things.
Let's go back to the class.
Okay,
Let's talk about the other class.
Okay.
I have to Google the black sex class stuff.
Okay, so this is what happened. So Mom and I arrived at the Pleasure Chest, and if you remember, do you know how many people were actually there? Like the place was...
It was packed. It was...
It was
standing
packed.
room only.
There was nowhere to sit. Like... We had to try to get like a spot closer to the front because they were going to be doing a demonstration, which we have to tell you guys about.
They
like,
did a demo.
This is how we can describe one of them.
Yeah.
Okay, we're going to get to
Yeah.
that. So
Yeah.
basically, we got like a nice spot, like kind of close to the front, like once we kind of could like maneuver our way like up to the front. So then like the class started. So we had one woman who was a larger woman. How would you describe her? Like how would you have described that woman?
She was thick and she was
Yeah.
tall. She was kind of an Amazon. Here's the thing. They told you in the very beginning that they only had one rule. You had to stay sex positive. Do you
Right.
remember that?
Yeah.
So when I found out that the class on blowjobs, you know what that is, right? When I found out it was being taught by two lesbian women, I laughed. And I got in trouble because I wasn't being
Right.
sex positive. But I'm like, what do two lesbians know about a blowjob?
That's what I'm saying. Like, it would be different, like, if I was teaching a class or a gay guy was teaching a class because... No,
I
I'm
have
just saying, like, as a
asked
gay
you
man, I'm just saying, as
to
a gay
give me
man-
and my friends a class.
Exactly, because as a gay man, you give more blowjobs than the
You
average
know your
woman.
way around the
You know
penis.
how to work a penis.
But he didn't want to teach his mom how to work a penis.
Well, I think it's kind of hard and weird and odd to try to show my mom how to go down on the dick. So I figured if there's a class that can teach us, and I knew the Pleasure Chest had these classes, why wouldn't I just take my mom to the class? I mean, I thought it would be educational for me. I didn't learn one thing as me. Like, I don't know if you learned anything, but I'm talking about the other lesbian women. No offense, I'm gay. No offense about being a lesbian. But it's the idea that a lesbian should not be teaching a class on how to give a blowjob. So we had a lesbian who was like this. Like, she was like short, tiny. Like, this was her. Like, she was this. And then you're the other woman. Now, like, project yourself bigger. Like, this was like this little woman like this. And there was this like
Big
this
woman.
huge woman.
Big
and there's
woman.
The other woman
and
like
the
this.
big woman strapped on the African American dildo.
An African American dildo. She strapped on.
Both of
That
the
dildo.
lesbians are white people. Not that there's anything wrong
Right.
with that, but why was the dildo a different race?
Why would she have chosen a black dick?
Yeah,
I didn't get it. Like, it
why would
didn't-
she choose a different? Why is she teaching the damn class? Get me a gay man in there.
Like, I was dying laughing because here is this little lesbian and she's going down
She
on
is.
the black
Yes, she has the black dick in her mouth. What?
Like, it made no sense. Like, so she's talking about like how to work the balls, how to get the dick
You
into your
tickle it.
mouth. You go like this. It's almost like a
Yeah.
come hither sort of motion, and then you have to like. Remember, she said it was like peanut butter on the roof of your mouth, and you had to use your tongue and use this like.
To kind of scrape it?
Like a
No,
flicking
that,
sort of
no, I
method.
don't, no.
It was just,
no.
I'm like thinking, like, how do you have a dick in your mouth but you're flicking it out at the same time? And if it's a large dick, how are you? It just didn't make any sense, like the technique that she was using. And she wanted you to use, like, she called it the screwdriver technique. So you have to be like going like this with like your
sounded
hands.
painful.
Like,
Painful.
and she was going like this, like in opposite directions,
she
like
was
rotating
gripping it.
on the dick.
She had a hard grasp.
It's almost like an Indian sunburn, but she was doing it like on the dick.
Yeah, a
And she was
black dick.
rotating it on the black dick.
And she's a white lesbian. She said she and her co-teacher, they're partners.
Mhm.
Okay, so they do these things together, but I don't think either one of them has a black dick.
I don't think that they would know their way around a black dick if they actually seen a black dick.
Yeah.
Now, okay, so do you remember when that woman raised her hand in class? Like, the woman was giving a blowjob to the other woman with the black dick.
Yeah.
And then that woman raised her hand and she said, "Oh, I actually swallow my son's semen." Do you remember that woman?
Oh, I had to go to therapy after that. I do remember that's perverted.
No, and remember she's like, oh, I'm very open with my son. And
We
I'm
are
very
not
with the
open
kids.
like
We're
that.
not open
I don't
like that.
ingest his semen.
No.
I don't.
And
I've
nor
never
should-
seen it.
Nor
And
should
I don't
any
want to.
mother be drinking their son's.
No.
Like, how do you do that? Like if you're
No.
here and we're just talking as mother and son, are you gonna be like, hey, like, can you like produce some cum for me so I can drink it?
She said it was a nutritional value thing. But do you remember Auntie Marie, how she breastfed Tony till he was 8
Oh,
or
like
9?
like 9 years old. He
See,
was,
that's
like, so
not
old.
okay
Like,
in my book.
no, and remember we would go to like those parties like in like the summer, like the picnic and stuff, like right in the open in front of like everyone, like family, friends.
He had a
like,
full
the
set
kid-
of teeth.
The kid would run. He would be like,
And she just whipped that bad boy on out, and that child
Right
could
at the parties.
speak. He was in 2nd grade.
he knew his way around that nipple though.
But even that to
He
me
enjoyed
is
it.
less perverted than a mother drinking
the
her
semen.
son's. I can't wrap my mind around that. You know, your therapist is so into boundaries, and that's why we had to go to class, and he couldn't just tell me or give me a book because he had boundaries with his mother. Okay, all right. But this just crossed all kind of boundaries. That was what
Yeah.
I call a red flag.
Oh, that's a red flag if I've ever seen one before. But
Yeah.
that's the thing. It was considered okay because we're in this sex positive environment. So they're like, sure.
Well, you should be having sex
normal.
with your child. I don't think the lesbians were down with that.
I think everyone thought it was kind of creepy, but they have to still remain like neutral in this like sex positive way. Like you can't be like, ooh, you're gross, you're a pervert, you're a slutty mom. Like you can't do that. They'd have to be like,
It's
wouldn't
more like you're a
recommend it,
criminal.
but it's like it's weird.
You're a
And a
criminal.
lot of people were asking questions in the class too. Like I honestly felt like I was at like UCLA, like I'm in college, like sitting down and
Yeah.
like we're really like going like really deep into like some sort of like law dissertation, sort of like we're really like working on problems. Like people had like really detailed sexual questions. Like don't you remember a lot of the things people would ask? Like there was that guy in the back of the class, remember that really tall guy that raised his hand and he said, oh, can I be the person that you demonstrate on because I want to see if it feels good so I would know the right way to use my mouth.
I thought that was a valid point. It made more sense to me than this fake thing that they had strapped on with a utility belt.
But did he really think he'd be able to just whip it on out in the middle of class and have her demo it on him? And she was a lesbian, so she said she
Yeah,
doesn't even
that's
enjoy
the
giving a
hitch.
blowjob, but she somehow was okay with giving it to the dildo, but then she completely just like shut him down with being able to
Maybe
do
because
it.
she didn't know how clean of a person he was.
Right.
What stands out in my mind is the woman who had to leave class because she asked what I thought was a very honest question. She said, what do you do if your partner's penis is a nub?
And I think that's something that you
That's
have to
legit.
explore. You have to explore that.
Yeah.
That's something that you
But-
really have to understand how to work with because it's going to feel different giving, or as a recipient of a blowjob, it's going to be different if it's like a nub or if it's a schlong. There's different ways you have to perform on a nub versus a schlong. That's what I've been telling you
I
for
would
a
not
while.
know. I have never seen a nub. But I felt empathy for her. I didn't think she should have to leave the class for not being sex positive because she wasn't happy about the nub stitch. I don't think I would be either.
Yeah, definitely. And remember when they gave us like the gift bag? Do you remember what was in the gift bag? They had the lollipop that was a penis lollipop. They
That was
had
tacky.
they had the penis little hood that you could wear.
Mm-hmm.
Like it looked like an actual like
not a cut man, not circumcised. Do you see what I'm saying?
yeah, it was like a little like mask sort of thing.
It's like you two can wear a foreskin. Why?
Oh, now remember they have like those little flavor things, like you can shoot like a flavor thing in your
Yeah.
mouth, and it could also desensitize like the back of your throat. So when you're giving a blowjob, if you're actually dealing with the schlong, you're gonna actually be able to have it like numb in your throat, so then you don't actually like feel it like gagging you. So you can actually take it in deeper, and it'll taste like cherries or vanilla or mint. They had different little sprays. I don't know if you've ever.
That
I don't actually wanna
scared
know
me
if you use those
a
more, but
little bit.
they're a
I
little
don't
weird.
think I've ever had anything so big that I would have to numb my throat.
You'd be surprised, Mom. You'd be surprised.
I would like to be surprised in that way. That would be okay.
Right, but do you think that there's anything you could have taken away from that class constructively from a blowjob? Like, would you recommend like our viewers to actually go to the pleasure chest or to a sex class?
Well, I have nothing against either the pleasure chest or the sex class, but it's just your partner said the techniques you learned from the lesbians were not pleasing to him, especially the Indian sunburn.
Oh, it was like this. So I go like this. It was like it's like a jump. Like it wasn't
that's
good.
a sensitive area.
Oh,
in case you didn't know.
There's nerves and
all kind of nerves.
You're
and
basically
veins.
shocking it. It's almost like getting like a cattle prod when you like that's what it, when you go like this. So
Ooh.
I tweeted her and I said, "Did you really think that was a good idea to demonstrate that as a safe thing?" Yeah, and I said, "Is that really a safe thing?" Because my significant other, who I did that to, jumped up and he was actually injured from that sort of Indian sunburn sort of move. So I said, do you think that maybe we can adjust like the literature for like future classes? Just because I don't think that's good to tell other people to actually go like this. Like I get what you maybe meant. Like if you maybe had a lot of lube and you were just going like this, like you weren't squeezing down or putting grip.
She
like you just have to go like
hard
this. Grip. It was gripped.
You know, your father's penis was very veiny. Just a lot of veins that were blue. And if I had gone like that, I would have cut blue veins. I would have cut off some kind of circulation to some place, and I just it didn't seem.
Dad's
I don't think.
veiny blue penis. Like that's so gross.
Okay.
But
for a while it did the job. That's all I'm saying. I just wouldn't put it in the bionic death grip.
Right, or else I wouldn't be here right now on this planet because you would have just cut that semen from me being able to come out of his penis.
Or cut off some. It just
I don't know.
It didn't seem right to me. That's all I'm saying.
No, but the thing is, there were a lot of women and gay men in the class that felt like they could raise their hand and give technique advice. Like, oh, actually, when I give a blowjob, this is how I do it. It's like, honey, you're not teaching the class. Like, I feel like you just have, like, the lesbians just show how to do the blowjob. But so many people want to try to pretend like they were professionals in the class. Like, oh, I've given 800 blowjobs, and I can demonstrate how to give a blowjob. Can I come to the front and show the technique I like? It's like, no, bitch, like, sit down. Like,
yeah, this is not vivid entertainment.
This isn't vivid entertainment. Or people trying to, like, film them teaching the class. Like, people were, like, fucking turned on. Like, did you see, like, that guy in the corner? Do you remember that guy? He was, like, super big, and he had, like, that weird, like, goatee that was, like, white, and he had, like,
I kept
weird
my
thing.
eyes
Oh, he had his eyes on you, though.
focused on it.
His eyes were glued on you, Mom. He was so creepy, and he was like videotaping. They kept saying, remember, no cameras, because they said no cameras, no phones. And that guy still somehow kept trying to film the lesbians giving oral sex as if that is some sort of special thing.
It wasn't a turn on at all.
And do you remember when they asked us questions, like we were leaving, they were asking us questions like, oh, like, do you need any advice on like massagers or blowjob tools, or do you want a dildo? It's like, I'm here with my mom, and they're like, oh, well, mom and son drink each other's semen, so it shouldn't be that weird that mom and son are searching dildos. We do not, and it's kind of weird looking at dildos with your mom. Like, I don't know if you guys ever have, but it's kind of odd to be picking up dildos with your mom.
Well, I did not purchase anything, but I did look around, and in the very back of the room, they had this black rubber thing that looked like a fire hydrant. It was the size of a fire hydrant that you would see on the sidewalk, and I said to you, what the fuck is that? And he told me where it was supposed to go, and I don't see how that's humanly possible.
The thing I think about is that if there's a will, there's a way. So for me, in a certain way, if I was resisting something, I wouldn't be able to accept it. Let's put it like that, accept it. But if I was really like ready and open, and they had sensitizers, and there's Surgilube. Have you heard of Surgilube? Surgilube is what they actually use in like surgery for like surgical instruments. Like, they sell it as like a sex like lube, so you can actually like prepare yourself just like how they would for surgery. So you can basically take anything.
Okay.
So if I was
real talk, just he yodels like a coyote when he's constipated. I can hear him in the can when I'm all the way in the kitchen. If being constipated is that unpleasant, and I grant you it is,
well, yeah,
why are you trying to sit on a fire hydrant?
Because it's that sort of thing where if it stretches you out to a certain degree, there's like that pain pleasure sort of sensation where a lot of people get off. Like, I'm not saying like me, like I want a fire hydrant sort of inside of me, but it's the sort of thing where some people, if it's pain, it equals pleasure. It's like a 50 Shades sort of thing.
The law of physics, I don't know how.
You can go.
I need to go read some scripture.
It's like fisting, like.
No, I need to go take a shower and then I have to pray.
Well, Mom and I have to go pray.
Yeah, but separately.
But separately.
Yeah, I've got to get right with God after this.
Yeah, but if you are in the Los Angeles area, it may be worth checking out. Like, I went with my mom. If you're comfortable, you can talk to your parents about going with them.
You have to be of age, though. Don't go if you're like a little kid.
Yeah, like if
don't
you're like
watch
a minor
this
or something.
if you're a little kid.
If you're a little kid,
go do your homework.
Do your homework.
Shame on you.
This is for other mothers, sons that are of legal consenting age.
But not like that.
No, but you know, you guys know what we mean. We have to explain it. You always have to have boundaries, whether it's with their mom, with your sexual partner. Find out what you're comfortable with, and if you go on the Pleasure Trust website, this video is not sponsored. They're not paying us a dime.
No, they're not paying it. We're just saying.
We're just talking
this
about
happened.
It. There are classes. You may say this in a future class. If you want to go to one, Mom,
I want to go to the black sex class. I want to find out how it's different from the white sex or the Asian sex class. How is the black sex class different? And I don't know why black people need a sex class. Because Barry White.
Well, if you guys want to find out more about that, check out the Pleasure
Marvin Gaye. I'm just saying. I don't think they needed a class.
Well, some people don't really know what to do with it when they see it, so this is a little bit of like preparation. This is like your elective class. Well, anyways, guys, it was so nice talking to you. I need to go pray with my mom. Separately.
Separate places. About different things.
We need to find Jesus after this.
We need to get right with God after, and I need a shower.
If you like our videos, give us a thumbs up, subscribe to our channel, leave us some comments below if you've ever been to a pleasure chest class or any other sex class.
I don't want to see those comments. Just send them to him.
Yeah, just send them over my way. Alright guys, bye, thank you.
Bye.